Hi, good morning, Samrat ji. How are you?
Hi, Ramesh ji. I'm fine.
Welcome to Logistics Shakti Podcast.
Thank you.
We have done already one podcast last year.
Yeah, good
It
to
was
see
a
you.
great hit.
Yes.
So let us catch up again and take few points. Uh, First of all, welcome here. And what do you think? We see this. We must be seeing the session there. So of course, logistics industry is going through a sea change, and the way the growth is being expected is going to be phenomenal. So supply chain has moved away from a rudimentary form of warehousing and transportation to a much evolved, much modern supply chain. How is it impacted the FMCG industry? Is it still in rudimentary stage, or still it has evolved and it's become much more leaner and faster and tech savvy?
So I think, first of all, we must always remember evolution is a continuous process, and that is what we are undergoing. But the good part is that the pace of evolution has actually increased over the last few years.
Okay.
In fact, over the last 10 years, I would say because of the infrastructure improvement itself, the logistics turnaround times have reduced, the infra has improved, which is impacting and benefiting the quality of the product also. So,
Oh.
quality of product, quality of service, which is quality of delivery, both have improved
Yes.
for the FMCG industry also.
Okay.
In turn, it is also benefiting in terms of the costs coming down. So, I think three pronged benefit is
Okay.
there.
But FMCG is always a very cost sensitive product, unlike white goods or auto industries, which is not as price sensitive as FMCG. So there is always a problem of scaling up the technology and modernity because it impacts the cost. So how do you think it is really changing?
So I think the change is inevitable because there is a change in the customer expectation itself.
Yes.
So when we have, earlier, I remember, if you used to order anything, there used to be 6 to 8 years lead time.
Yeah.
You used to book a scooter,
Yes. Yes.
a Bajaj, and
Yes.
typically it would get delivered in 8 years.
Yes. Yes.
Today,
And in
uh,
black.
and in
You have to
black,
pay some extra
and in
money.
black, yeah, absolutely. And over last, we remember there used to be a 30 or 45 minutes evolution
Yes.
in terms of delivery lead times,
Yes,
30
yes.
or 45 minutes promise of delivery for pizzas.
Yes.
Today we are talking about 10-minute delivery.
True.
So customer is basically the one who's triggering all the changes. All companies, everyone, all sectors have to undergo that change because customers' expectation has changed. And same is true for FMCG industry also. We are also undergoing that change. We have direct customer deliveries. We have deliveries to our quick com customers who cannot maintain too much inventory also. So definitely the supply chain of FMCG is also evolving to keep pace with whatever is the customer expectation. Cost sensitivity definitely is there because ultimately we want to give the product at a reasonable price to the customer. But I think what we are doing is that we are able to reach more number of customers because of all this evolution which is happening. So that is benefiting the top line of the company, and hence we are able to plow back some money
Okay.
in our brand building also. But definitely there is a cost impact of faster delivery. But I think infra improvement and I think the technology improvement is something which is balancing it out for us. So overall, I think we are not experiencing any increase in the cost per se. As a percentage of revenue, definitely we are able to bring it down.
But I see strangely very strange phenomena is that one is a traditional channel of distribution which you do through distributor and retail and all that. There I don't see the modernization catching up so fast. But at the same time, when you go to e-commerce or e-commerce, it's a more channel for you, which is channel of distribution, which is really fast changing and they are going very modern. How is it happening? There are two different channels have different strategy. One is going absolutely modern tech and then quality of warehousing, and traditional channel remains still as it is. See, the density still remains same. Ultimately, the reaching customer is growing around population growing around that area, so that is the reach is there. But there are two different channels which are catering to different segment, and they have been very different to each other. How do you
So
What comment do you want to make on
I think very rightly pointed out. The thing is that while these channels are evolving, uh, what is happening is the share of each channel is actually changing.
that? Yes.
So this channel is becoming more relevant.
Yes.
Quick commerce, e-commerce, modern trade is becoming more bigger pie, bigger
No,
portion of the pie is
this is
taken by
also
these
considering the
customers.
cost sensitivity. When we say there is cost sensitive, one channel is adopting modern technology, one is not. Whereas the product itself is cost sensitive and this thing. So in that parallel, how do you?
So I think this change has happened very fast. We have not given time to the traditional trade to evolve
Okay.
because the quick commerce has evolved very fast. I think over the period they will understand. They are already understanding. So there will be an evolution there as well. The customers who are into the traditional trade, the partners who are into the traditional trade, they also understand the need of evolving. And I think the pace of evolution is what it is, right? And
Yes.
traditional trade has probably not been able to evolve at the pace at which there is a change in the other channel, which is quick commerce. But I think over the period, they will understand that ultimately, if they have to survive, they will also have to evolve and probably become partner to some of these channels.
Okay.
So
But would you agree that like Q-commerce, they deliver in 10 minutes or 7 minutes nowadays? Is it required? Or probably they both are two different extremes. Probably somewhere in between it should be there. Like the traditional channel is its own pace, it's taking its own pace. Whereas the Q-commerce is extremely fast. Do we need product in 10 days? Is it spoiling us? So what do you think? Which is the right approach? Is this approach is good or that approach is good or somewhere it should be in the middle of both of them?
I think we are of a different generation. People who are actually buying on quick commerce, the new generation, definitely, I think they believe there is a need of faster delivery. I mean, I cannot imagine myself. We used to actually, before we used to decide to buy a product, maybe an FMCD product. My first mobile, I think I took about a month to basically decide which one I want to buy. Today, an iPhone can get delivered in 10 minutes.
No,
So
I'm talking with specific to FMCG product, which is you know daily use groceries and that kind of a
I'm
thing.
coming to that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying that when, in our generation, even an FMCD product, we used to take days or weeks to basically decide to which one to buy. Today's generation is able to do it at the click of a
No,
button,
of
and
course,
they want to buy.
naturally this is happening because of expectation. But what I'm saying is it correct? So, like, suppose when this thing mobile came, uh, I remember I used to remember all the phone numbers earlier, maybe 50 phone numbers, 60. I remember by heart. Now I just can't remember. So it has made my brain slower, probably. So similarly, QCOM 7-minute delivery has probably uh, made my decision making or my ability to plan inefficient. So if somebody cannot plan for at least half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hour, and he needs it in 7 minutes, then do you think this is the right thing which is happening, or
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
is the
I'm saying,
expectation of Gen Z? Perfectly agreed.
yeah. So I'm saying that we are no one to decide whether it is right or wrong. I mean, it's for the person to decide. We as a generation, we believe it like that you should take time, but probably the younger generation is completely out of sync of those thoughts, and they believe that it is required. So I'm saying it is up to them to decide. Ultimately, what will happen is that there is cost attached to a faster
Yes,
delivery,
that's the main thing.
and
So
they are
ultimately,
willing.
most of these guys who are delivering 7 minutes are making loss.
But ultimately they will not. There will be a
Hopefully.
platform fee, and that will keep increasing, and
Hopefully.
then
So
if the
either
customer is.
so that's what I'm saying. Either there should be a charge. So if you're willing to pay for the service, it is okay. The problem, unfortunate problem is you're not willing to pay for the service. You want 7 minute delivery without any service charge.
No
So that's the main
charges,
problem.
no charges, only up to the time when the habit is formed.
Yeah. So
When the habit is
they are
formed, they are
basically
going to charge
corrupting
it.
the customer and they are making them habitual and then they will charge.
I would say they are pampering the customer,
Pampering.
not corrupting, but they are pampering the customer. And once the habit is formed, then probably there will be a charge attached to it.
Okay. So this is the expectation of customer. So he will pay. Whether it should be a balance between both of them, a little bit of planning also is required. As I said, now people do not have the memory to remember the mobile number, so it's probably dulling your brain. Similarly, lack of planning is going to make you a lesser, better manager. So everything is so dependence on AI will come. That's what happens. So dependence on AI will come. So slowly, it is taking you towards. We always say, in Delhi, in India, we have Jugaad. Jugaad
This
is
is the previous question, actually. What is also happening is that in the past, there used to be one member in the family who was earning, and there was probably 4 or 5 people who were actually, dependent. So that has changed today, right? In a family,
yes.
there are two members who are earning, and maybe two, dependent who are children, basically. And as we go forward, that dependence is only going to reduce. Number of people dependent on one earning member is only going to reduce. So that means there is more income which is available to be spent, right? So in earlier times, household stuff used to take maybe 40-50% of your annual, or your monthly salary. Today, that's not the situation.
True.
Salaries are higher. The expense of FMCG products is still, at least in the middle and higher income groups, it is still a smaller portion.
Yes.
So I think people are willing to spend, right? So yeah.
So let them enjoy the speed. Great. Okay. And how do you think these kind of seminars help the industry as well as the supply industry?
I have a view on this. I am not normally not going to too many seminars or in industry conferences, but this one, Logistics Shakti, I chose this because I feel that the kind of discussions which you are promoting, the kind of people you are getting together, are really willing to make a change. And I think there is a vision which is it's not only for a commercial reason that you're doing this conference. There is a vision attached, and I think I personally believe that this kind of a conference is required, and I believe that way to go for this kind of a conference.
Okay, so there is a good takeaway from the
absolutely.
And what is one thing that you would like the supply chain industry to change if you have the magic wand in your hand?
I would like more brilliant minds to get into the supply chain industry and into the logistics industry. I think the quality of manpower is something which is improving.
So,
but I think a lot can be done, and I think forums like this and more coverage in the media is something which is going to help to attract better talent.
Okay.
I think better talent is what is required in the industry. I would want my magic wand to move in a way that more brighter people.
Yes,
bright
which is actually
youngsters.
happening.
It is happening.
Yeah,
but it could the change could be faster than the way it is. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I remember the day when logistic was associated only with transportation, and the mind in mind what used to come is a truckwala. Now they are in the board. Because supply chain determines everything. So the procurement to ultimate delivery, and that is the cost basically. So as a homogeneous product, supply chain is the main differentiator. So these are changing in recent times, and I'm sure this will happen more. And with support of industries and service provider, I think this is in the right direction that we're going. I thank you very much for the interaction, and I hope that we'll have more such interaction in the future, and we'll take this industry to a new level.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me. And I'm glad to be talking to you.
Thank you. Great.